How's it going, everybody? I'm Ash.
I'm Car Dreamer.
I'm Ready Player 5.
And this is the Nintendo emulator lawsuit discussion.
You want how I'm going to word that in a stupid little thumbnail, or...
That's your problem.
Oh, actually, you're the thumbnail artist.
Yeah, you're the one who gets with the names.
I got to do it in the video.
Moving on. So, this is a general discussion about the big...
Nintendo lawsuit against emulation.
Yeah, pretty straightforward on this one. So, what are your thoughts on this one, CD?
So, the reason we're discussing this and my thoughts... My first thought, let's get the thought out of the way. Nintendo are idiots.
A little bit.
Well, explain the situation first.
No, we start with why they're... We just start with calling them idiots and then we explain. That's how this works. They're idiots.
Is this D-class protocol?
Usually.
Look, when you go into a law... the courtroom, you don't say, Your Honor, we have an issue with this, and so we're suing. The judge goes, you're suing for this. Why?
I mean, they're not going to say because they're an idiot.
Well, no, but the point is, he tells you what you're doing and then tells you why.
But the listeners don't know what
so
Nintendo is doing.
So, straightforward, Nintendo is suing two companies owned by kind of the same people.
I think it's EmuLove and Emu Paradise.
It's Love Retro.
Love Retro, okay.
And they're suing Nintendo's suing them because they're about to release their online store and everything and all their services there. And they're not happy about the emulators because it's going to take away from their profits.
Right.
So it seems. They're suing them for $150,000 per emulated game, coming to a total of $2 million.
It's ridiculous.
A tad.
Look,
Okay.
My basic opinion is, while I can admire the moral high ground of the lawsuit, whereas, look, if you want to play the game, you want to play one of our products, buy it. The downside, or the flip side, is that 70% of the old school NES, SNES library is not available to play, even on, and well, pretty much combine all their freaking virtual stores. It's still not.
Nope.
It's Mario Brothers, Castlevanias, Mega Mans,
Metroids.
Yeah, I mean, you got most of the big titles, a few of the B strings, nothing else. But
no D strings. That's where we are.
It's true. And the online store isn't even out yet, so you can't hurt profits that aren't there. Although they would probably argue, well, if you have it, why are you going to buy it later?
So, Five, what do you think about this entire lawsuit as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, I like what Car Dreamer brought up about the...
1 point for the villain?
about what the...
Stop helping him!
About what the virtual platform was going to do. Like, if the virtual platform was out already, then it would make sense for them to be all gung-ho about shutting down the ROM sites because you can already get them somewhere else, and because they're with Nintendo, you're paying for them and we're making more money. But obviously, I mean, they don't care they care a lot about other sites giving away the ROMs that they're about to charge people for.
So, but if it's about money, then you would think Nintendo would have waited, because it goes back to what I was talking to Ash about prior. You have the
yes.
Super Nintendo Mini and then the original Nintendo Classic editions, which quite a few people bought
just to
hack and put ROMs on.
I mean, do you think Nintendo... I know they know about it, but do you think that's what they think the systems were sold specifically for?
I don't think that was their intention
No.
or what they thought it was going to be mainly bought for. They thought people were going to buy it for nostalgia's sake, which, granted, a lot of people did. And that's fine. I have no issue with that. But if they were aware of the capability to hack it to this degree, I don't think they would put it out as readily.
I see, and I have to disagree, because you have already the Raspberry Pi systems out there.
Now I'm hungry.
You have Androids that already can emulate this. I mean, emulators are nothing new. PCs were already doing it. And you made these as about as complicated as a 12-year-old cell phone to hack.
I mean, honestly, you can get an emulator on your phone in like 2 seconds.
Right. So they knew off the bat that these were probably going to be hacked, especially in this day and age when that's half the point of a phone or technology. People spend several $100s on an iPhone so they can go home and see if they can't jailbreak it in the first 5 minutes.
Sure.
I mean, it's what it is. What it is. And then when people hacked the original Nintendo Mini, and they only had a limited run of those, so they ran out real quick.
Mm-hmm.
They released the Super Nintendo Mini, that is literally the exact same hardware on the inside, just different OS, basically. It is the exact same motherboard, exact same chip. I mean, it is the same hardware.
Oh, wow.
So they knew it was going to get hacked again. It uses the same hardware to hack it.
I mean, how would they find out if people are hacking their systems?
Oh, trust me.
YouTube videos on how to do it.
I mean, legit, there are literally channels dedicated to just showing you how to hack and add specific games.
And then there's people who just show off all the library that they put on there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, it's one thing is like, hey, we got our online store up, our digital libraries up, come buy our games, and then we'll release the, SNES Mini and all that stuff. That would make more sense.
I agree.
Because at that point, it's not a matter of like, okay, the emulators are already out on the digital library, but the fact that someone else is getting them out then.
And the thing that made this, it isn't even just Nintendo ROMs. That's what's ironic, is that they were making bank on the mini things because they could be hacked to play not just Nintendo games. They play Game Boy. I mean, yes, that's Nintendo.
Oh,
but
the Mini.
Yeah, the minis will play original, Super, Game Boy, the original Game Boy up to Game Boy Advance. They play DOS games. They play Sega Genesis and Master Systems. They play Game Gear. They play.
Yeah, I was wondering what Ash said. Ash meant by like to this degree, and like
they play Atari
how much
and
more hacked
PlayStation
could
1.
something be than something else?
So, quite frankly, you can hack to the point where it goes beyond the original console and to other consoles itself.
And it's not even limited to that.
Nope.
I've got ROM hacks on there and homebrews.
Yep.
So people's fan love can be supported as well. It's like the sky is all just about the limit for these.
Don't
things.
you have a few fan games on that one as well?
That's why I have the homebrew and.
I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, that's what they are. Like I've got Pokemon fan games on there. I've got Mario fan games on there. It's ridiculous. They're really. I mean, these are great games that Nintendo should be like, hey, dude, this is awesome. Come work for us, rather than no.
It's like, nah. Instead of hiring you and giving you to us to actually make really cool stuff, let me sue you.
They're losing money. I did buy this for the express purpose of hacking it.
A lot of people did.
So Nintendo made money on me going out to do this, but they're taking away the source of doing that. Who's gonna? I mean, the people who are like me are like, well,
That makes sense. How much do we know about the lawsuit? Do you think they're actually
that's
pursuing?
Are
they pursuing the actual money, or is it just they
they're
filed the lawsuit to just scare them into taking all?
Oh no, they're going to.
They're trying to go all out with it. Overall, it's for each trademark infringement with each emulator.
Okay.
They're going to court. Now, they're not. No judge is going to grant them to the letter exactly what they're gunning for. Though the extent of what they're asking for is to scare, but they're not going to back down. They are going to win something enough to hurt and make a point.
Sure. Okay.
If they win at all.
Now, thoughts on this lawsuit as a whole? I think it's kind of a dick move on their part, for lack of better words. Just for the fact that if they were so aware of this, then what? Just because there are online stores coming out now, it just seems like timing is just make them rush things to the point of yeah, let's try and get as much out of this as we can before, people find a way to get around it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Is it possible to make something like unhackable or unjailbreakable?
Oh,
I doubt that.
Companies have tried, and someone has found a way around it. If it can be programmed, it can be cracked.
I look at Apple, I look at Android, I look at a lot of computers. I mean, shoot, if you could hack into, say, like, a computer at work or, a school or something, you could probably do it to anything.
Okay.
And there's no such thing as unhackable, and that's really the big issue here.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't
Right.
missing something.
Now, being the objective party here, you're the one, unlike me and CD, who are usually pretty on top of these kind of topics. What do you think of Nintendo's lawsuit? Do you think it's dumb? Do you think it's necessary, or do you think they have a point?
Well, I mean, like, from a business aspect, I understand why they would want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, like, making more money means they can make more games in the future, and, stuff like that. But obviously, Nintendo's a big corporation, and taking a hit from something that I didn't realize was as big of an issue as they thought it was, matters to them a lot. But, just like what Card Dreamer said earlier, they should have released the online thing. Like, if you no longer have access to the ROMs, but the online marketplace is not open yet, where are you supposed to get these games, like old game, like the B level or C level games that people might not know about, or games that you played growing up.
Right.
You now no longer have access to them, and that sucks.
And that's what they're trying to gun for at this point.
Yeah, like, obviously, if you're like 18, 19, like, you've never played these super old games that are only available in specific spots from specific locations.
You
Like,
poor kids missing out on the golden years.
And that's the other downside of, or that you bring up another valid point that people are discussing, is that it's not just the games in your own area. There are huge games that were never imported to one country, our country,
Right,
or
yeah,
whatever,
all the time.
that can only be played by most people by getting a ROM. And then, if you're lucky, a fan took the time to make a translation patch for it, so you could actually understand what the heck you're playing. But either way, it'd be a loss. Like, you couldn't even experience these other cultural games without this. And then Nintendo's taking that away.
Yep. And to those fans who have taken the time to translate those games for other people and other fans of video games everywhere, we salute you. It's a D-class salute. It doesn't mean much, but it still matters.
It's true. And by D-class salute, it means he said it. The hand didn't move, but he said it.
But overall, final statements, guys.
I mean, I can see where Nintendo's coming from. Like, I understand it's a business and they need to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they could have went about it better.
Okay. CD?
Yeah, to play devil's advocate, I do, like Ready Player Fry says, I get where they're coming from. And they have a fine line to walk, because we're saying, from a consumer point of view, they should have just waited till they should have had their online out first and then sued. But then that would have made, like, that uses my own argument against me. Then they would have looked greedy. Well, you got all the money you could up until your service was ready, and then you sued.
Yeah.
So from their point of view, they want to claim moral high ground. They did it before the online's out, saying, no, we're just saying this is wrong and this is illegal, and we're doing it on principle.
Sure. Maybe they think the lawsuit will be over by the time the thing releases, so...
I mean, if they were smart, they would wait till the lawsuit's over before releasing it. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess.
But overall, there's really no good way for Nintendo to look good in this situation.
There isn't.
And that's, unfortunately, what we're looking at this moment. I understand what Nintendo's trying to do. A true fan will support Nintendo regardless of what's available. I mean, they may go and try and get, an emulated game because things are not available, like an online store or not. That's one thing. But, like, I have PlayStation games from, like, way back when that I can't play on my PS4 now. I'll still see if I can't find them in the PSN library.
That's kind of what I do. I'll try to do it the best way I can. I mean,
And yet, I'm still trying to find Jack X Combat Racing. Can't find it.
I love that game.
Right? But anyway, in the comments below, tell us, what do you think of this lawsuit? Do you think is Nintendo in the right, in the wrong? Do you see it from more a consumer position or a business position?
Or do you see it to be futile? Is it, then look at it from another point of view. You may take down a website, and you may scare people from hosting it in public, but you'll never stop people from distributing.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you force them to do it through torrents and other type of
people
media,
will find a way.
It's going to get out there. You're not going to stop it. You're
yeah.
just going to change the way it happens.
Sure.
It's pretty much the prohibition era of gaming.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can bottleneck it to an extent, but, like, it's still going to happen
I will
at
play
least a little
my
bit.
Double Dragons 2.5.
Somehow.
You know.
Was there more to that title?
There was.
That's a real D-class effort right there, buddy.
People.
It was going to be like a Double Dragon 2.5 Wayne's Brother comedy brawler.
Two brothers.
That sounds awesome. Where's that ROM?
So good.
Nintendo stopped it.
That's true.
Sad.
Damn it! I'd like to change my opinion.
Sad face. But anyway, please like, subscribe, comment below, and we want to hear your thoughts on this one, guys.
Yep.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.